love to improvise, so maybe we do that.
Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We're so glad you're here. You are in the right place at the right time, and your soul is welcome here, right, Laree?
That's right. Your soul is welcome here. Thank you for everybody coming out this Sunday morning. Let's all sing together. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be in my soul. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome here. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and our souls are all together. Let's sing. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be in my soul. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Come on, get your energy up. My soul is welcome here. 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 And my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah.
Well, good morning, Reverend Deborah. Good to see you this morning, and all the souls that are here today.
And good morning, Reverend James. Welcome back. And we greet you this morning. You can applaud for him. And we greet you this morning in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and of course, the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there is no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, either online or on site, we especially want to welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. Every one of us is here by
Divine appointment.
And we're always excited to be together, and we really appreciate it when you silence your electronic devices, and please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, let's take a moment as we have that opening to connect with this presence that is beyond words, but is the essence of who and what we really are at depth. And as we connect with this presence, we remember that it contains the peace, the love, the joy, the wisdom, the health, and the wholeness that we all are at our core. And as we make this energy the activity of our awareness, then we begin to radiate that out from wherever we are, so that we can say without a doubt that when you see me, you see the presence that sent me. For this presence, and I and all of us, are interconnected, are one on a soul level, on a spiritual level. So today we simply go forth doing our part to let God be God in us. And as we do, we bring forth a little bit more of heaven, which is ever expanding good in our life and in our world. And for this, we are grateful and thankful as we go forth, expanding and radiating the all good. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we have a very important purpose here at Spiritual Life Center that's reflected in our mission statement. And the statement is as follows. I invite you to join in as we affirm it together. To transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that principle or that purpose through these 5 basic unity principles that are universal. Again, let us join in as we affirm them. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. We must take action.
And Paula, I believe we've got some big action coming. Action
and activity.
This is true. Good morning. Not on.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Oh, nice to see you. So I'm here to tell you, to remind you, this is the week of the cabaret. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Have you gone? Have you signed up? So what I wanted to let you know is that your ticket price does include a drink and an appetizer. And if you want more than one, there's more available also. So I encourage you to go and sign up. We're going to have a lot of fun. Elaine wanted me to let you know who the cast was. So I'm going to do this like a 30-second ad on TV and hopefully not get my tongue twisted. Appearing July 29th, this Friday night at 7 o'clock, we have Joella Aragon, Dennis Kane, Janet Crawford, Walter Crawford, David DeMario, Chris and Jennifer Enright, Brian Gorell, JG, Elaine LaRoa, Cameron Lawson, Lisa Lawson, the world premiere of the Youth Ed Band with Michael Lawson. We have Jerry Livingston, Paula Mandela, Kim McKean, Patty Peters, Deborah Phillips, George Piper, Mary Rupp, Sally Sion, Laurie Schifflet, and Daniel Thomas. All appearing this Friday night. So that's quite the lineup. Going to have a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, a lot of good music, a lot of good of everything. So see you there.
Awesome.
And the awesome just keeps on happening because next week, I believe that you are going to your son's graduation. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's something like that, yes.
Congratulations, you have a son. And so Renee Jenkins will be our speaker, and after the service, he's a ceremonial sound practitioner and healing performance artist, and so he will do the Sunday talk, but then from 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can receive your own personal sacred sound blessing with him, and Renee and his partner Janèe invite you to infuse your heartfelt intentions and prayers with the energy of this ancient form of healing. How many people have experienced Renee? Oh, it's amazing. It's an amazing experience. So they offer a lively talk about the ancestral instruments and their historic metaphysical healing properties. And then there's a 90-minute group sound healing where you just sit and he comes around and he plays right over and around you. It's just the most internal experience. So this form of vibrational medicine induces introspective, ecstatic, and altered states of awareness, providing greater insight for self-exploration. And also, because there's that time between the service and the program, there's a love offering lunch that will be served so you can stay on site and attend the sound blessing. You can sign up for this online or at the hub.
Okay. Well, like a little kid on Christmas Eve waiting for the next day to arrive to open gifts, the Board of Trustees is having a board meeting on July 28th to discuss the proposed bylaw changes. So if you have an idea for some bylaws, just let us know, and they're going to review those, and we're going to vote on the bylaw changes on September the 11th. So I'm sure that you have nothing else to do, but if you don't and want to find out something, you want to look through the bylaws and say, we need to change this, let us know and we'll take a look at it.
You make that so entertaining. And then our Light the World Gala is on Friday, September 30th. And of course, we always are welcoming sponsors to help support this program, because this is one of our main fundraisers of the year. So if you're interested in being a gala sponsor, go online and get more information or talk to someone at the hub.
Okay.
And remember, we have many activities, some of which we have talked about so far, but remember, we also have a lot of small groups that meet weekly or monthly. And so to discover all the happenings at SLC on site, you can go look at the bulletin board, chat with the ladies at the hub. Of course, anything you could possibly want to know about SLC is on our website.
Well, at this time, I'd like any of our board members that are present to please stand, as well as our prayer chaplains that are here this morning. And the prayer chaplains are wearing the white stoles. And if you'd like to have a prayer for any challenge that you're going through or growing through, they're more than happy to pray with you. And if you just want to celebrate something, they'll pray with you about that, and just to amplify that energy field. So we thank them for their service. They're available in the courtyard to pray with you immediately after our service. And our board members, and Josie's, I think, our board member for this morning is here. And if you want to have any questions you want to ask her about our communities, you can answer questions, but we appreciate her work and the contribution she's making to our community with her time and her talent and her consciousness. So thank you for your service to Spiritual Life Center.
And we'd love to greet our newcomers, so in a moment we will ask you to raise your hand. But first, we want you to know that there are many ways to become connected at Spiritual Life Center. And one way to get that started is to fill out the welcome card. That welcome card is available online, and you can go to our website, fill out the card, and then we will get back to you. Or if you're here on site, raise your hand, keep it up long enough for us to find you. Fill out the card, take it to the welcome table out in the courtyard, and we have a very special welcome for you and a gift.
And if you're here for the very first time, we invite you to raise your hand. Any first timers here today? I think we're all familiar with one another. So with that, I invite you to just go to a friend or a neighbor and greet them in a way that feels comfortable for both of you, and say, you are marvelous and glad you are here.
All right, everybody. We're going to sing our group song now. This one is going to be really fun. I Trust in God by Ricky Byers. Yeah, let that groove just...
Are you feeling thankful today?
That's right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you feel that groove? Just let it sit inside your heart. Here we go. I'm thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I am thankful, so grateful, so brave. I am one in the spirit all around. So grateful, I'm thankful, so grateful, grateful. I trust in God. And I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. I'm one in the spirit all around. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. And I am one in the spirit all around me. Surrender, I surrender, surrender, I surrender. I trust in. Let's go back. I'm thankful, I am thankful, so grateful, so great. I am one in the spirit all around me. So thankful, so grateful, grateful. I trust in God. Oh yeah, I'm thankful, so grateful, great. I am one in the spirit all around me. So thankful, so grateful, so great. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God. Trust in God. I trust in God.
Wonderful. Please be seated. Now we're going to just sink deep into that heart space. Preparing for meditation, we'll begin with speaking our vision statement together. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And now let's sing this beautiful chant one more time again. Such a nice space to be in the stillness, where all good things happen.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I feel love. Sweet, 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 sweet love. Oh. In the stillness of this moment, I am free. I am free. And in the stillness of this moment, I am free. I am free. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I am free. Free. I am love. I am peace. I am love. I am peace. Love, peace. I am.
As we move into this time of quiet, let's take a few more moments, releasing any concern for the outer world. And use your breath to release any intention. As you breathe normally, drop your shoulders. Loosen your hands. Relax your eyelids. Take another deep breath in. Let it go.
The name of that song is Creator.
And now, again, breathe naturally and allow your consciousness to float
I like to call it
up into a light daydream of being in the high desert.
that master plan is all.
You stand on a high mesa.
And sometimes
Here, the air is clean,
the creative
clear.
creations
The sun is warm and comforting.
plan is to
It is quiet.
There's
It
a
is
photograph
still.
coming up on the screen.
And then your attention is caught by the rumbling sound of flowing water.
You see it's a drop of water,
Intrigued, you turn and walk toward the sound of the river.
and there are 12 ants.
And the air is still and quiet, so you can hear even the smallest sounds of a tiny bird rustling in the low shrubs,
Divided themselves into four.
small lizards scurrying from rock to rock.
The reason for the four groups is to maintain the balance
Just being in this environment has a healing effect.
and then falling to the ground.
You are grateful for this moment to yourself.
Plan for the ants to cooperate
Along the river, the shrubs are bigger and more abundant,
amongst themselves.
and the river becomes loud and rambunctious.
It is the ants' way of
A large rock, smooth
when everyone does
and quiet, juts out over the river.
the civil war,
It's a perfect place to sit and rest.
words, malice toward none, charity toward all.
You feel comforted by the smoothness of this rock, and you admire the colors woven through it and wonder how much water passed over a stone this large to make it this smooth. How long did it take for it to become this amazing? What did it feel like? In your imagination, you become the rock, and you feel water flowing over you. At times it is gentle, caressing, other times furious and raging, tugging at you, taking off tiny bits. But you are still you. No matter the state of the water, the temperature, the velocity, your you-ness remains. You realize those tiny bits are not you, only the concerns and distractions of the material world. And it is the grace of this divine flow that moves them up and away. Gratitude fills your being, clarifies you, heals you, cradles you in the grace of the silence. This is a glorious moment. The atmosphere is quiet and holy. The sun, the river, the sounds of the animals, the smoothness of the rock heal you, enlighten you. In gratitude for the insight that the joys and trials of this life do not take anything away from you, take a deep breath and begin to return to your earthly body and receive this blessing. Oh, my beloved, water, silence, life flows over and around you. Please do not fear the raging waters or love overly much the gentle ones. They offer the same grace of smoothing out your edges, healing you, keeping you holy, bringing out the very best in you as you walk in gratitude. Remember this always.
I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for everything. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you. I thank you.
Thank you, Laree. Grace and gratitude. A number of years ago, it was a beautiful morning, or early afternoon, as I recall. And I was taking a flight from Fort Lauderdale, Florida to Los Angeles, California to attend a spiritual conference. It was a clear day, beautiful. And the plane took off as normal. And then some abnormal things began to happen. As we began to ascend and try to get to our cruising altitude, the plane suddenly dropped. You know, my hat flew off, rolled down the aisle. Everyone started screaming, and the plane rose up again, and it dropped again. And the third time it went up, it was like, I don't know how long this lasted. This may have lasted 4 or 5 minutes, but it seemed like an hour. Because it went up the third time, you know, it was like, I don't know if you ever had a washing machine that's, you know, kind of off and it's rattling because it's like imbalanced. The whole plane was shaking like that. So it went up and it dropped again. So eventually we had to make an emergency landing at a nearby airport. And very interesting about that, you know, there were, you know, fire rescue that came. But before the fire rescue thing, the news people were there first, which I always thought was really weird. Somehow they had found out about it. But I remember as we were walking off the plane, I knew that it was probably serious because there was one of the pilots that was actually a passenger. And he said he was a little concerned. And he knows all about the aerodynamics of airplanes. And I was walking off the plane. There was one person had been on his very first airplane ride, sitting up there, terrified, unable to move out of his seat. But the interesting thing that there was a couple of little babies on there. They slept through the whole thing. But as I thought about that and thought about gratitude today, I knew that in that moment, once we landed, gratitude was real strong for me in that moment. During that time that was taking place, I didn't have any other problems. I didn't have any other concerns that came to my mind. I was just grateful to be on dry land. I don't know about you may have had experiences, similar to this, or maybe some close calls. But I realized that after that happened, slowly but surely, I still began to allow the worries of my life to creep back into my life. Where my gratitude became something I would call conditional. Conditional gratitude. Sometimes we could train ourselves to have love conditionally. And sometimes we train ourselves to have gratitude conditionally. Where we say things like, well, I'll be grateful when things are going my way. And otherwise, I'm going to be cynical about life and all the things that are not working well. But we want to remember those moments when we were just grateful for being alive. We want those moments to be part of us, regardless of whatever crisis we may be going through, whether it's been completed or not. We want gratitude to be a way of life, to have what I call a gratitudinal healing, which I'm talking about today. Gratitudinal healing is all about constantly putting gratitude in and as our attitude. And to hang in there even when the facts of life are not to our liking. There's a statement in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, the 16th to 18th verse. It says, give thanks in all circumstances. Now, as I read that closer, I realized it didn't say give thanks for all circumstances, but in them. It's what we call the work of the heart that can see beyond the appearances. It is a discipline of the soul. And oftentimes it takes courage, it takes conviction to make a commitment to life that way. I think this is the kind of courage and conviction and commitment that Myrtle Fillmore, who was the co-founder of Unity, had. Those who know a little about the history of Unity know that it really started because she had a healing experience. And people just were gathering and gravitating to her like a honey toward bees to understand what did she do? Because she had at that time was a terminal condition. And she decided that she'd be grateful despite her condition. And she blessed and she thanked every organ of her body. She praised the intelligence within it. She was grateful for the life force that was moving through her, and she was thanking the cells in her body, and they responded. And of course, she had a healing that took place. It didn't happen immediately, but it took over time. But the point of the story was not that she had a healing, or she was grateful and then she had a demonstration take place. I don't think it's any of that. Because the demonstration was the gratitude that she had. That's the real story, was the gratitude. And the recognition that the wholeness of God was in the seeming illness. And she was grateful regardless of what the appearances were as far as her surface mind was concerned. And that she was okay, that she was always in God. And she was grateful for her life. And that's all she was concerned about. And as a result, the healing, she said, really was a bonus. But that being said, there's a lot of research, medical research, psychological research that shows a direct link to gratitude and our improved mental well-being, our improved health. A lot of people that I run across seem like it's more than ever now. I don't know, maybe it's always been around, but it seems to be more than ever, particularly maybe young people, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. And gratitude might be the very last thing on their minds or our minds when we go through that. However, it turns out that gratitude can be a key to helping with our mental health. One study had showed that participants who wrote gratitude letters regularly displayed significantly better mental health than those who did not. And that same study showed that the same was for physical well-being and physical health for them. So this is what we want to grow into, an awareness of a gratitudinal healing on a daily basis. When we begin to do that, suddenly gratitude springs up through our awareness, and often it comes from unexpected places in unexpected ways. I'm reminded of a man who apparently had lived in Budapest, and he was going through some things, and he went to a minister. I'm going to say it was a Unity minister because he was thinking like a Unity minister. But he went to the unity minister and he was complaining. And he said, life is unbearable. There's 9 of us living in one room. What can I do? I guess the minister put on his turban and spun around a few times and said, I'll tell you what you do. Take your goat and put it in the room with you. Now, the man was extremely incredulous about this, but the minister insisted. Said, do as I say, and then come back in a week. That was his prescription, I guess. And a week later, the man came back. He was looking even more distraught. He was more upset than before he saw the minister in the first place. And he said, we can't stand it. The goat is dirty, it's filthy, it stinks. And the minister said, well, now go home, let the goat out, and then come back in a week. And a week later, the guy came back, and he's happy, he's radiant, he's joy-filled, he's grateful, and he says, oh, we're so happy now. Life is beautiful. We enjoy every single minute of it because there is no goat. There's now only 9 of us in the house. The conditions had not changed. Hadn't changed from the first time. But that man had a gratitudinal healing. A shift took place. You know, we talked about a couple of weeks ago the idea of putting our weight on the other foot, shifting our attention from one place to another. And so for him, gratitude sprang up where he thought there was no reason to be grateful. And in that situation was an opportunity to have an attitude of gratitude. Understand, when we transform and rise above our surface mind that sometimes focuses on all the things that are wrong with life, all the things that we haven't accomplished yet in life, or maybe all the things that we have regrets for, not quite working in our life. When we have developed what I call a connection to the soul, that yoga of the soul, that yoga to the spirit, to rise above our surface thinking, we stretch our awareness into gratitude and we become aware of what the possibilities of living life are. You know, as we're practicing what I call that mental discipline, you know, the reactive mind, you know, our mind reacts oftentimes. And it sends off sometimes a lot of tension, but if we just breathe through whatever we're going through at the moment, and gratitude kicks in, and there's an expanded perspective, and that perspective can last and last regardless of what we seem to be going through, regardless of what we seem to be thinking is victimizing us. And those who have practiced gratitude at this level come to the point where they are no longer using it to get God to give them anything. And say, well, if I'm grateful, maybe God will give me something. But instead, they are hanging out in gratitude, and they're celebrating their existence in and as an energy of the presence of God that is always there. So they're constantly celebrating life. So we're no longer waiting to live life or waiting for some external change to take place outside of us. We're not waiting for some kind of improvement, because we can't improve on life itself, the essence of life, the energy of life, because life in itself is magnificent. It doesn't mean our conditions cannot improve. They can. But we don't want to wait to feel the awareness, the aliveness, the joy, the ecstasy, the bliss, the beauty, and all the qualities within us waiting to be activated. No, right here, right now, we feel it even before the conditions of change show up. And if we live life with that feeling tone, that tone of gratitude, we will discover that circumstances and situations do get better. They do improve. But we don't have to wait holding back to life till such an action takes place. I spoke to some people about doing this, and they said, I'm a little frightened to do this because I might be sending out a message to the universe. The universe might get a mixed message, and they think I'm saying, well, my life is good, and if I send that person some energy, of goodness, that person may feel that maybe the universe is thinking, well, my life is good, and if I'm wanting to make it better, it won't send me anything more. But it doesn't work that way. You understand? We have to feel it first. We have to walk around in that gratitude and then begin to realize that more shows up in our life. I think that's what the spiritual law is all about. It really says that life and our life corresponds based upon what's going on within us. So we want to first feel the aliveness. We want to feel it. You know, there's a song that says, it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing on. I've turned it around to say, it don't mean a thing if you ain't got that feeling. You got to feel it. Got to feel it. Sometimes people walk around in a particular mode of life, you know, and they block their gratitude. And these people walk around through the world, sometimes they're very cynical, and they're looking around at life through what I call a jaundiced eye, you know, through a cynical eye, wondering what's wrong. Because they're turning this infinite lens around, and it feeds them back life that looks askew, that looks bad. You know, I have a relative, her name will be out. I won't mention their name to protect the guilty. But, you know, sometimes I'm around them, the person always talks about how life is not working out. How it's always somebody else's fault because it's not working out. Who and what was wrong in their life. And so they never fully participate in life because they're cynical about everything. They don't trust the presence of God. They don't trust the force or the universe. They don't even trust themselves. And they develop a mental habit of talking to themselves about how everything is wrong. But we want to be aware that cynicism and chronic complaining, always looking for what's wrong in life, it's just a habit that some people develop. It's a habit of which sometimes we might tell ourselves over and over again until it becomes a way of life. It becomes a point of view. It becomes a mental energy. As I like to say, it's your dude that's putting you in that mood. It's that dude that's putting you in that mood. But here's the thing. That cynicism and gratitude cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Can't be done. You know, you can't be grateful and cynical at the same moment. It's like trying to frown and laugh at the same time. I don't know if you ever seen anybody who was frowning and laughing at the same time. I tried, it can't be done. And those who are cynics never fully participate in life. And gratitude becomes something they place on hold. Something doesn't turn out right, and they hold that energy. And a lot of times when they hold that habit, even if something turns out right according to what they think is right, it'll still turn out wrong because they never receive the fullness of the blessing that is there for them. Because it's coming through an opening not quite large enough for the spirit to take hold. There was a young man named Chuck. And Chuck was kind of one of those cynics in life and about life. And he was one of those chronic complainers. And I always like to say a complainer is someone who's saying, I can't see God. I can't see God. And he could never find himself to be really grateful about stuff. And he was blocking himself from receiving the blessings that were always in front of him. But Chuck had a good friend. His name was Bob. And one day, you know, Bob's wife called him. And he said, Chuck, Bob, you know, he just recently had a heart attack. And he's okay, but there's something I need to tell him. I'm a little concerned because it might set him back. I just found out he just won the lottery. But I don't want to tell him that he won the lottery because I don't want him to keel over from, you know, the sudden news. And he asked Chuck, well, can you help me? And Chuck said, yeah, I'll be right over. Let me go talk to Bob. And he said, Bob, I want you to imagine that you just won $2 million. What would you do with it? And Bob said back to Chuck, I said, Chuck, I know you've been going through some hard times, and I know you've been struggling. I'd give most of it to you. And Chuck keeled over from his own heart attack because of his cynicism about life. Him being a chronic complainer, a consciousness of ungratefulness. he couldn't receive the blessing that was there for him. Understand, when we step onto the realm of gratitude, we're making ourselves available for the blessing that sometimes is too big for the human mind to receive. You know, gratitude keeps us pliable, it keeps us receptive. It keeps us absolutely yielding and available to the blessings to pour and pour and pour. But sometimes cynicism and complaint and negativity keeps us brittle. It keeps us controlling. It keeps us manipulative. So even if something good is trying to get through, sometimes we'll block it. We'll mess it up anyway. We'll sabotage it. So we want to begin our own gratitude and healing with the awareness that the life of God is our life. We are one and the same. And as we like to say, God is good all the time. So just for a moment, just think about the moment that you were truly grateful. Grateful about anything in your life. It could be something recent, it could be something ancient. Just feel the vibration of gratitude. Feel that vibration of thankfulness, that graciousness of the presence. We want to breathe into that and let it occupy every cell of our body. And as we're breathing into that, as we're breathing into it, we realize gratitude is a principle, just as God's givingness and God's love is an unyielding principle. And the God energy is glad to be alive and awake and aware through you and me. It's grateful that it has an expression to be expressed through. And so we want to be aware of times that we may have placed our gratitude on hold. Maybe where we've constantly blocked the flow. And just as an exercise in awareness, we want to be aware of those times that we have done that and realize that we can always re-choose right now. We can make a new choice. We can put our weight on the other foot. As it says, choose ye this day whom you will serve. It has God or mammon, God or the material. Can we choose the infinite or limitation? Can we use God or fear? Where will He take our attention? And realize that in this space, we can always choose the presence of God. And we're giving ourselves a gratitudinal healing, a washing of the soul, a cleansing of the soul. And on a daily basis, we're doing a work of the heart. And that's the discipline and the courage and the gratitude that we want to have so we can embody that energy of gratitude all the time. And I think when we do that, you and I will begin to witness and bear witness as we become a bigger place for more of God to shine through us. More of an expression and creativity to become our lot. It becomes our way of life. So we don't want to be afraid of the power that is trying to come through us by holding it back, by being ungrateful for anything. Because when we're grateful, we're not afraid of the greatness that we're here to express. We're not afraid of the beauty that's here to be revealed through us. We're grateful when we don't put life on hold, waiting for conditions to change, for it to be just right, and standing on the outside looking in. No, we want to jump right in. Be grateful here and now. And then we watch what happens. Because it's already happening. It's been happening all the time. It's trying to happen through you and through me. So I just say, have a gratitudinal healing today. Peace and blessings to you. Well, as Reverend Deborah pointed out, next week we're going to have Renee Jenkins, and he's going to talk about following the sacred sound to source, and he's also going to have a workshop at 1 o'clock that afternoon, so put that on your calendar to check it out, as I'm kind of in the East Coast with my family, with my son, and celebrating him completing his journey of graduating from Howard University. I'll be so grateful, as he will be as well. Let's see. Well, at this time, we invite those who may be online that want to support the teachings that we have at Spiritual Life Center, to spread the word. And if you'd like to give a gift or an offering, you can simply text SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or you can go to our website, slcworld.org, go to the Donate tab, and give in other ways, including by mail. And we invite you, if you're watching, to whatever platform you're on, to like us, subscribe, comment. It helps us get out there even more and spread this consciousness to everyone on the planet, potentially. For those who are present, we invite you to take your gift or your love offering and symbolically raise it to the heavens, which is ever-expanding good, and know that you're in a flow. And whether you've given by mail or electronically, you are constantly in that principle that says when you give, it comes back to you in so many different ways. So with that, let's affirm our offertory blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
When everything's wrong, when I can't find my song, when darkness is all I see, there is a remedy. It's all the little things that make the world go round. It's all the little things that are most powerful. There's no politician, no sky too dark. No one can take the love from my heart. The sun's gonna shine, and in this heart of mine, the sun's gonna shine, and in this heart of mine, the sun's gonna shine. Ooh, it's true. When the loudest sound is your own life crashing down, and when your friends don't come around, there's one true thing I found. It's all the little things, all the bells that ring, that sing. I'm gonna choose the bright side to see, and no one can take that away from me. The sun's gonna shine, and in this heart of mine, the sun's gonna shine, and in this heart of mine, the sun's gonna shine. Bring it on now. And sing it on, sing it on, sing it on, sing it on now. I'm singing on, sing on. The sun's gonna shine, and in this heart of mine, the sun's gonna shine, and in this heart of mine, the sun's gonna shine. It's true, yeah, 'cause I can't
grateful. We put that into our awareness and our consciousness and make it an activity of our life on a regular basis. At this moment, we give thanks for those who have supported Spiritual Life Center with their gift or offering, knowing that it'll support this community to be a place for others to come to for their own personal growth and transformation, so they make a difference in their part of the world, whether their family, their community, or the very planet in which we live, knowing that we're all in this together. And when anyone does better, we all do better. We also bless those who have left prayers in the prayer box, whatever they may be. And we remember and lean on this truth that the Spirit of the living God always has the answer before the prayer has even been decided upon, before it's been uttered, before it's been written down. As that statement goes, before they call, I've already answered you. So we simply raise our vibration with those who have left those prayers in the prayer box, knowing that they are simply becoming in tune with the one presence, the one power, the all-knowing presence of God. Knowing that these prayers will continue going on to solid unity, to be prayed over for an additional 30 days, to be in that prayer vibration where that answer always is. So it is done. We are grateful as we go forth doing our work to amplify and multiply and spread the all good in our life and in our world. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And with that, let us join together as we affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. And now our peace song.